I have a new girlfriend, and I'm going to live with her. I'm divorcing you, and you need to go to your parents. I don't understand what you're saying. I don't need you anymore. You can stay with my parents if you want to be a breadwinner or a housekeeper. Julianne, you understand. My in-laws and my husband laugh at me. They are the worst kind of people. But for me, it's better this way, so you all need to leave. My name is Julianne, and I am a 35-year-old office worker. I have spent my whole life working. After graduating from college, I started working for a major company. For about 13 years, I worked hard and earned qualifications for promotions. Thanks to that, I am now a department manager at a young age. I am blessed with a boss who always has something useful to say and a team of highly motivated and talented subordinates. My work life was very fulfilling, but my personal life was not at all. I had a boyfriend once when I was a student, but none since I started working. Worried about my situation, a friend of mine hosted a dinner party for me. That is where I met Jake. He was kind, had a nice smile, and seemed very personable. Since he was the same age as me, we had a lot in common and enjoyed talking to each other. We soon became friends, exchanged contact information, and started going out to eat alone together. Then he confessed his feelings for me, and we started dating. We got along well, he proposed to me, and we ended up getting married. I was so happy to be married to the man I loved so much. Soon after, I went to his parents' house to meet them. His parents were very kind and welcomed me with open arms. Julianne, it's nice to meet you. I can't believe such a beautiful person became Jake's bride, they cried. I am so proud of my son for bringing a good woman here. Hey, Mom and Dad, stop it. Julianne is getting scared. Oh my, if you really think so, you can say it. That's right, it's a compliment, so it's okay. His parents were very friendly and easy to talk to, just like him. Julianne works for a major company, doesn't she? Oh, that's great. It's cool to be a woman who can work hard. Will you quit your job when you get married? No, I'm going to keep working. Well, you've got a good job at a good company. That's better. I was relieved. According to my friends, their mothers-in-law often told them to quit their jobs, saying it was a wife's job to support her husband. So I was glad. I thought to myself that my future mother-in-law was generous. After greeting my parents, we got married. My heart was filled with excitement for the new married life that was about to begin. My husband moved into the house I was living in, and we started our new life together. I was very happy to be newlyweds with my husband, whom I loved very much. I was happy to be at home with him all the time and to have him home when I came back from work. 8 months into our life together, my husband said he had something he wanted to discuss with me. If you don't mind, I'd like you to live with my father and mother. What do you mean, live together? Yes, they are getting old, and I am worried about many things. I see. I can certainly understand how my husband feels. My parents are about the same age as my husband's parents, but my brother and his wife are currently living with them, so I have nothing to worry about. However, my husband is an only child, so it is understandable that he is concerned about his parents. Does this mean we are living with my in-laws? Yes, it would. But do they have a room available for us? They use every room for some reason or another. About that, if you like, I think it would be a good idea to renovate my parents' house and make it a 2-family house. 2 families. Yes, if we do that, it will be much cheaper than buying a new house. We can live in a beautiful and spacious house while still maintaining our privacy, right? I see. I thought it was an attractive idea. My in-laws are kind people, and if we live in 2 houses, it won't be as stressful. Yes, that's fine. Really? Thank you. My mom and dad will be so happy. I was happy to see my husband so happy. Later, my in-laws came to visit us, and both of them were very grateful. I even thought that with such a kind and cheerful family, I wouldn't mind not having 2 households. Soon after, my husband and I discussed remodeling my in-laws' house. The cost would be around $200,000. As we were discussing it, my husband made a surprising remark. Actually, I have a favor to ask you. Can you pay for the remodeling? What do you mean? The full amount? Yes. Why? My husband looked very uncomfortable. Actually, we are in debt. I was shocked. Neither my husband nor my in-laws had ever mentioned this when we were dating or when we got married. How much debt do they have? About $250,000. What? I thought it would be a few tens of thousands of dollars, but I was surprised at the amount. I ended up shouting out loud. It wasn't so bad at first, but it gradually grew. Even if I tried to pay it back, I couldn't. My parents are already living on a pension, and the debt is getting bigger and bigger. I see. I couldn't hide my surprise and upset at the sudden revelation. I had no idea that my in-laws owed such a large sum of money. Julianne, I need a favor. Will you help me pay off my father and father-in-law's debt? They can't afford it anymore, and I don't make a very good salary either. Then isn't it going to be tough to renovate the house and live together as two families? No, that's important, so let's go ahead as planned. You have asked me to pay for the remodeling and your father's debt. I'm on the hook for $250,000. I know I'm talking about difficult things, but I want to take care of my life with you, Julianne, and I want to protect my mom and dad. It's because I love both my parents and you. I'm sorry I'm being greedy, but if you really love me, please help me. I'll pay you back little by little. I was very upset. My husband and my in-laws had no one to turn to but me. I knew my husband really loved me, but I felt deceived by his words. Love is blind, I thought. Okay, I'll pay for it, I agreed. My husband said, "Thank you so much," and shook my hand. He told my in-laws, and later they came to our house to apologize. My mother-in-law even cried tears of joy. I have to do my best from now on, I thought. I had to take over my in-laws' debt and was determined to do it. Although I had some savings, I was afraid to pay it all at once, so I decided to pay $60,000 from my savings and then the rest in installments. My in-laws joined us to discuss the repayment. I explained my plan for installments, and they said I could do whatever I wanted. Why don't you transfer the money directly to the account for debt repayment? We're not very good at managing money, and I'm a little afraid to transfer a lot of money, my husband said. My in-laws nodded. It would be time-consuming for me to transfer the money to my in-laws' account, and then for them to transfer it to their repayment account. Since it was a large sum, I didn't want the money to get lost in the process, so I agreed to transfer it directly. Once the conversation was settled, my in-laws looked very relieved. Now we don't have to be afraid of the monthly debt collection. It's been really scary. Dad and Mom, you should thank Julianne properly. Well, I can't tell you how many times I thanked you. I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much. I'm so glad Julianne became his wife. No, I said. I was happy that my in-laws were happy. However, I felt a little uncomfortable because I thought they might see me as just a money source. Even though I felt a bit bad, I wanted to take care of my beloved husband's family. With that in mind, I began to make the payments, and we remodeled our house, making it a two-family home. We started living together in a beautiful and spacious house. My in-laws were very happy, and my husband's eyes lit up at the new house. I enjoyed cooking in the new kitchen and was glad we did the remodeling. It was more convenient and closer to work, which shortened my commute and gave me more free time. I could use that time to study. I worked hard every day to pay off the debt. However, something bothered me. My husband did not help pay off the debt at all. When I told him about my in-laws' debt, he said he would help, but he never paid anything from his own paycheck. When I asked him about it, he said his salary was not enough. I asked to see his pay stubs, but he refused, so I didn't know how much he earned. I worked hard for about a year to pay off the debt. One day, my in-laws asked how much money was left to repay. If it's been a year, you haven't paid back that much, right? Well, we've paid back about $60,000 this year, so the remainder is roughly $180,000. My in-laws were extremely surprised. What? You paid back that much, Julianne? That's amazing. At this pace, you'll finish paying off the loan in about 5 years. If I work hard, I'll be able to pay it off, I replied. Thank you so much, my in-laws said, crying and happy. Seeing them so happy made all the hard work worth it. A few days later, I faced an unexpected situation. I had to work overtime, so I told my husband I would be home late. However, the work went smoothly and we finished on time. I hurried home, planning to cook dinner for my husband. When I opened the front door, I saw my in-laws' shoes. Oh, my in-laws are here, I thought. I walked toward the living room and heard my in-laws and my husband talking. You were right to marry that woman, weren't you, Jake? You did great. I can't believe you got a woman with that much money when I heard she works for a big company. I was really careful and seduced her. You should be more grateful. You should be more grateful. Oh my, you're one of the people who created that debt. What? But I owe the least. What are you talking about? How much did you spend on horse racing? Your gambling is terrible. I get a jackpot once in a while, so sometimes we were actually ahead. How can you be ahead when you owe $250,000? But at this rate, we'll be able to get out of debt and get back on track. That's really great, and she even remodeled our house. I got a really good wife. Well, I'm going to dump her after she pays off the debt. My husband and in-laws laughed. I was so shocked I couldn't move from the front door for a while. After calming down a little, I made a loud noise as I closed the lock and said, "I'm home," from the front door. When I went to the living room, my in-laws and husband greeted me with smiles. "Oh, Julianne, welcome home. Good job, good job. Well, we're going back to our room. Let's have dinner together again soon." I was so afraid of their gentle smiles because I had heard their earlier conversation. Seeing my husband pretending to be a good husband with a smile on his face shocked me. I wondered why I had been working so hard to pay them back. "Didn't you say you had to work late today?" "Yeah, but I finished earlier than expected, so I hurried home to cook dinner." I tried my best to act calm until dinner, so my husband wouldn't realize what I had heard. Later, when my husband was taking a bath, I stayed in my room and cried alone. Crying as hard as I could made me want to get back at my husband and in-laws. From then on, I acted quickly. I began to prepare for the divorce and made plans for what to do afterward. About 5 months passed. I pretended to be happy and told my husband that I had paid off my in-laws' debt. My husband's eyes widened. "What? You paid off the debt? That $250,000? That was supposed to take roughly 5 years, right?" "Actually, I have quite a bit of money saved up, but I was afraid to pay it off all at once. So I started taking out a little bit from my salary and savings. But we were already below $200,000, and I thought it would be better to pay it all off at once." "I see," I said. Then I asked, "Do you mind if I check?" and showed my husband the bank book. Oh, it's true. $180,000 was paid all at once. My husband tried to hide his excitement, but I could see he was itching to get out of there. "Wow, Julianne, thank you. My parents are going to love this." He put his hands on his face, pretending to cry, but I knew it was just an act. Soon after, my in-laws came and thanked me. "Thank you so much. I'm so glad I met Julianne. You're like a blessing." If I hadn't known the truth, I would have been happy to hear their thanks. But I knew what they were really like, and I only acted nice because I was ready for my plan. A few days later, my husband asked to speak with me. He looked very serious. "What's going on?" I asked. "I'm sorry, Julianne, but you have to leave me." "What do you mean?" I acted surprised on purpose. "I have a new girlfriend." "What?" "I'm going to live here with her, so I'm divorcing you. You're going to my parents' place." I was shocked by Jake's unexpected statement. I knew from overhearing their earlier conversation that my husband would leave me once the debt was paid, but I didn't expect him to openly declare his infidelity. What did he mean by sending me to his parents' place? I don't really understand what you mean, I said. My husband's mood turned sour. You're not very understanding at all. I don't need you anymore, but as a breadwinner or a housekeeper, I can keep you here. Then the front door opened, and my in-laws came in. Jake, did you finally tell her? Yeah, I told her. I wish I could have been there for that moment. You can come to our house if you do the chores for us. Of course, we'll charge you rent. My in-laws and husband laughed at me. They were the worst people ever. All of you need to leave, I said. My in-laws rolled their eyes at my comment. What are you talking about? Have you forgotten? I can easily pay for the renovation myself. You changed the name of the house to mine, so I have the rights to this house. I could decide who lives here and who has to leave. My in-laws' faces turned pale at my comment. They finally remembered about the house title. I was really dumbfounded. I'm sorry, but you can't live here anymore. If we get divorced, you'll be strangers. My in-laws realized the seriousness of the situation, but my husband, not wanting to be outdone, retorted, But you took over our debt and paid it in full. You're the one losing money. If we had no debt, we could at least afford a new place to live. That's true. Thank you for letting us live in a nice house while you pay our debts, my in-laws and husband said. I'm sorry, but I didn't pay off the rest of the $180,000 debt. What? No, but you had money missing from your bank book. That was just a separate account I created and moved money around in. The debt hasn't changed from $180,000. I just haven't had the collections come yet because I've been paying large sums continuously. But it's time for them to come, so you are responsible for paying the rest. My husband and in-laws were shocked. Then I warned them, Jake, you told me you were having an affair, so you should pay alimony. I'll charge your partner for the affair too. Oh no, she went out with me because she thought I had money and a house. If I have to pay alimony, she'll dump me. I don't care about that. No, I apologize. Please don't leave us, my husband pleaded. My husband was afraid of being dumped by his lover, and my in-laws were afraid of being left by me. They were truly selfish. I have nothing to do with you people anymore, no matter what you say. I have also put this house on the market. I will also have you pay the $120,000 debt I paid on your behalf through my lawyer. My in-laws froze, stunned by the loss of everything they had. I then demanded a divorce and alimony from my husband through my lawyer. I also demanded alimony from his lover and $120,000 from my in-laws for what I had paid. Actually, that renovated house sold for about $400,000. It was in a good location, and a family looking for a duplex bought it at a good price. I had to pay $320,000, which included the $120,000 debt and $200,000 for the renovation. However, I ended up gaining $80,000 from selling the house. Additionally, I received alimony from my ex-husband and his affair partner, which greatly improved my financial situation. On top of that, I got a $120,000 payment from my ex-parents-in-law. I ended up benefiting the most from this situation. I believe this is fair because the damage I suffered was significant enough to make me distrust people. Initially, I had savings because I was learning how to invest, with the goal of paying off my in-laws' debts as quickly as possible. Since I had substantial savings to begin with, I invested tens of thousands of dollars, and my assets grew significantly in about a year. Additionally, I received a raise at work, so my earnings increased. Because of my savings and investments, I was able to take such drastic steps. My former in-laws ended up back in debt and lost their house, but they deserved it for deceiving me. People who cheat others should face the consequences. This experience has taught me to be more cautious and develop a better sense of judgment about people. Moving forward, I will continue to save and increase my assets, so I can live a comfortable life in my old age. I want to make happy memories with people I can truly trust. For example, I started by focusing on improving my financial knowledge. I took courses and read books about investing and personal finance. This helped me make informed decisions about where to invest my money. Over time, I diversified my investments, spreading them across different asset classes like stocks, bonds, and real estate. This strategy helped grow my wealth steadily and securely. Furthermore, I took advantage of opportunities to advance my career. I sought out additional training and certifications related to my field. These efforts paid off when I received a significant promotion and raise. The increased income allowed me to save more and invest more aggressively. Through all of this, I remained focused on my long-term goals. I wanted to ensure that I could retire comfortably and enjoy my later years without financial worries. I'd also wanted to be in a position to help my loved ones if they ever needed support. This vision kept me motivated and disciplined. Eventually, my efforts paid off. I was able to buy a beautiful home in a great neighborhood. I also traveled to places I had always dreamed of visiting. More importantly, I built strong relationships with friends and family who truly cared about me. These connections brought me joy and fulfillment. Looking back, I realized that the challenges I faced with my ex-husband and in-laws taught me valuable lessons. They pushed me to become more self-reliant and financially savvy. They also helped me appreciate the importance of surrounding myself with trustworthy and supportive people. In conclusion, I transformed a difficult situation into an opportunity for growth. By focusing on my financial health and personal development, I created a better future for myself. I hope my story inspires others to take control of their lives and make positive changes. What did you think of the story? Please subscribe to our channel and see you in the next video.